Hey there, YouTube, Mountain Boy here. For a long time, I've kind of looked at the Gerber Strongarm, and I've been wanting to get one. And I see them go on sale from time to time, and I never can quite pull the trigger. As you can see, I've got a lot of different knives, but they recently came out with a camp version of this. It's kind of bushcrafty, it's kind of campy, and I said, what the heck? I was able to kind of figure out a 20% discount. MSRP on it is $90, so I think it came out to be like $72 plus tax. So I thought we'd take a look at it and see what we got. So you can see here, this is the gray model. Very kind of slim sheath. It's kind of the same idea as with the Gerber principle, where it also has kind of this modular sheath idea that kind of goes with it, that you can wear it on a belt, you can hook it into PALS webbing, you can wear it scout style. It's a little hokey, but it actually works. I've actually used this on backpacks, on my belt. It's a nice thing. The only thing I think first off is, it's a little bit, I've never been a big fan of kind of like these nylon danglers. It looks like you can take it off. I'd almost rather just have something that's just simple and goes on your belt like a hook. And I'll try that. I'll actually see if I can take the hook attachment from this and modify it to go onto that sheath. And then I can wear it more as a belt knife. So let's take a look at the blade. Well, this is a 420C steel. This is the same steel as in the principle. It's kind of a nylon handle with like a rubber overmold on it. You can see a full tang with it. Probably a bit of a rat tail in there. Probably not like the full body of it. It fills the hand. Feels pretty good. It's got some nice indexing points. No jimping at all. That would be kind of cool if it had some jimping on the top. A real shallow choil here. I always forget the riscata. For your finger. I don't know if I'd want to use that. It puts your finger so close to that edge there. And it effectively shortens the blade by about ½ an inch, right? It's like a 4.1 inch blade, but I really think you're probably losing a quarter of it. And you can see here with all of these, with the exception of the Esee, where it's a really functional one that lets you kind of chalk up on the blade, none of these others have it. So, and I don't know if you really need it. Like, it's not that big of a knife. You're not going to really do that much fine carving. I don't think it's going to give you that much more ability, that extra ½ inch. It just seems like kind of like a little bit of a waste. It's a nice looking knife. It feels good in hand. Super high traction. The rubberized coating is nice. The only thing I'd worry about it is you can see here with the principle, I've backpacked and camped and done a fair amount. You can see a little wear and tear, if I can get it to focus here. So I kind of wonder how well this would work. It's meant to have a lifetime warranty. It is a USA made blade, which of here, only the Esee and the principle are USA made. The jokers are Spanish. That's Swedish. And the SOG Tellus over there is Norwegian. Not Norwegian, Chinese, excuse me. It's a lot lighter than I would think. It weighs in at 4.8 ounces. And that's kind of comparable to like the SOG Tellus, which weighs in at 6.7 ounces. But that has a full tang through and through. It's a much beefier knife. I would almost say this is kind of more in the category of a field and camp knife than it is in a bushcrafting knife. It kind of goes into that direction, but it's just not as heavy of a blade. Maybe one thing we could look at here is the blade thickness. This is 1.25 of an inch thick, and we'll compare that to the Tellus, which is about 1.5 inches. So you can see quite a difference there. Also, you got the jimping. The Tellus, I love this. This is just a beast of a knife. I can abuse the hell out of it. It's a very similar steel, 440 versus the 420 steel. I have no problem sharpening this. I think my experience with the principal, if I remember correctly, is that this has taken me a while to get a good edge onto it, and I forget the name of the system. I'll put it up in the video, but it's the one where you can dial in the actual degrees of angle for it. But I tried on one of those handheld ones and just never could get a great edge. With that, I was able to get a good edge. I think that's something to think about with this. But even this principal is thicker than this camp knife. This is also cheaper, $67 MSRP versus $90 MSRP. So I think my initial thoughts are this. It's a nice looking knife. It's a nice feeling knife. I don't think it's going to age as well as everything else on here. I think its closest counterpart is the Gerber, the Moore knife Gerber, which this is on Amazon today, $67. You know, I think to be fair, I think you could probably find this in the $70 to $80 range. Gerber, you know, rarely is full price places, so I think that's comparable. The handles and the way the ergonomics work is very comparable, although I think if I was to pick one over the other, I think I would go the Gerber over the Camp. I brought my Esee 6, but I think another comparable knife to this would be the Esee 4, which they also make it in a 420 steel, and but it's like the same exact dimensions. It just has kind of the attachment scales. That's at the top, $140 retail. Then you've got probably the veritable Joker Lynx. Again, this is like 4.1 inches, much thicker, much more robust. This clocks in, I think on Amazon today, $103. So for $13 more than full price on this, you get, you know, a much more substantial, a much nicer knife, much nicer steel, in my opinion. Another option, and this is also much more comparable, is this Joker Bushcrafter, very similar size. Even the Joker Bushcrafter is a thicker knife material, full tang, much better handle. These, I believe, are $88 on Amazon right now. So basically, this is cheaper than this. I would do this all day long. Principal, I already mentioned, $67. You're really not gaining that much more, and I think you're getting a more robust knife. So again, I think I'd do the principal over it. The Ultimate Test, and I have to admit, the Tellus is like my go-to. This is the knife I really carry the most, I do the most with. MSRP on this is $70, although with the sheath, I've added $10 to be able to put it on my belt, and I would do this all day. Similar steel, much heavier knife, heavier duty, and I think this will last 20, 30 years. This, you know, this handle is going to wear off in time, and it's a lot lighter knife. So I guess a mixed bag. You know, it's a nice knife. I think this would be a great knife if this was a $70 knife MSRP and you saw it on sale like in the mid to high 60s. I think this would be the best knife for like just a good camp knife. You know, something that you're going to wear every once in a while. You're going to put it on a pack. Maybe you're going to integrate it into some Powell's webbing or something like that. But certainly I would kind of choose probably everything but the Esee 4 over this knife. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching this. Hit like and comment. Mountain Boy out.